if you were looking to move to the Phoenix metro area, most likely, if you're on this channel, you're going to be moving here from another state. So you may not be that familiar with, the actual, the location of Phoenix and the surrounding areas. Well, in today's video, I'm going to go over 5 actual ways that can help you decide on what areas of Phoenix that you get to call home. Welcome back. It's Rich Brecklin, real estate agent with eXp Realty, and welcome to another episode of Arizona Life. So if you've been here before, you get it. I'm helping people decide, determine, be the boots on the ground on what it's like to call Arizona home. And if it's your first time here, well, that's exactly what I do. So any questions you have, any your particulars, you're thinking about making Arizona your home and you're just not sure, feel free, let me know in the comments, send me an email, give me a call. My contact information is below. So I love getting those emails and helping people, answer those questions because, I get it. I'm not from here myself. We moved here from Illinois, thank God. And we had questions too. And I did the exact same thing that you're doing right here on this video. So I want to return the favor and help people and, understand that I get the process of relocating across the country, and I want to be your boots on the ground and make that transition, an educated one and a less stressful one for you. So to kick it off, Phoenix Metro, it's a huge area and it varies, very differently from the West Valley to the East Valley. So where exactly do you get to call home? I know when we're doing our research, there are certain things that were, non-negotiables, certain things we were looking for, and that is how we ended up in Gilbert. But understanding, you and I may not be the same. So here are, my top 5 things that you need to look at when you're deciding on which area to call home. And stick around because I am going to have that bonus number 6. So obviously, depending on what it is you're looking for, I always recommend have a budget in mind. And if you can have a pre-approval, that is even greater. Having that budget and understanding how much you want to spend on that home, you're gonna have to have that anyway if you're buying. Now, if you are looking at renting, I do have a great rental program available, and I can do another video on that. And if that's something you're interested in, kind of a try it before you buy it, I can definitely help you with that. But having that budget, having that pre-approval, it's going to be huge. So that is going to help you. Let's just say you're pre-approved for $700,000 and you want these features. You want a pool, 4-bedroom, certain neighborhood amenities, certain community amenities. Well, that will help steer us and identify certain pockets of the towns and cities, or eliminate certain cities or towns altogether. But that is huge. Understanding your budget and your pre-approval is something I will always recommend. Now, when I have clients that come to me that are already pre-approved and already have that in mind, it makes my job so much easier. Not that you really need to make my job easier, but it really does help the process flow, especially if you do find that property you want to move on quickly. Having that pre-approval already set and you're already kind of one step ahead of others, that's really important, especially in this competitive market that we're in currently. Number 2 would be, your career, because your career matters with the location. Now, let's say you take a job in, Goodyear, and, you're looking and, oh man, I really love the Santee Mountains. Let's look at Queen Creek. Well, I'm going to advise not to look at homes in Queen Creek if your occupation isn't Goodyear, because if you're working a typical 9 to 5, that drive from Queen Creek to Goodyear is going to be a huge pain. You're going to spend so much of your time driving to and from work. In rush hour, that's going to be, hour and a half-ish. Any normal traffic, you're probably looking at, 45 to an hour and 10, give or take. But yeah, so having your career, knowing where you're going to be working, that is going to help really determine, all right, I want to be in this. So if you're working in Gilbert, that opens up to most of the East Valley, East Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler, Queen Creek. But understanding, all right, here's where I'm working, here is where I want to live. Is this a commute that I can live with? Now, maybe you're someone, hey, you don't mind spending, so much of your day driving, and that hour and 20-minute one-way drive doesn't bother you, well, that's great. But I just want you to understand that, you know, on a map it may look okay, but that traffic does play a huge role. So understanding where your career is really helps determine where you get to call home. And then a lot of the different websites I use for my information for my clients for some of these videos are bestplaces.net. So you can find a ton of different, you know, data points, a lot of, you know, from ranging from, you know, the demographics, schools, crime, and also niche.com. So again, a lot of similarities, but then you also get to see other people, you know, who live in the area leave their reviews. Now, take reviews with a grain of salt. It feels like the more people, like people who I guess who are apt to leave reviews are usually the negative type. So again, don't put too much weight into the great or the bad reviews, but again, another piece of data to look at. So yeah, check out bestplaces.net and niche.com. So I use those websites very frequently when I'm doing research on other areas and also to help my clients. And then number 3, you know, what do you like to do? What are you into? Now, if you're into hiking and be outdoors, you can be in so many different communities here because you can find that, you know, you can find outdoor activities almost everywhere. But if you're, you know, you're really into shopping, you love being around malls, you love the whole shopping atmosphere, you know, maybe Scottsdale would be that right spot. So understanding your activities and what it is you're looking for in amenities and that kind of thing in your own personal lifestyle, if you're into like the arts, you know, the food scene, or if you're just gonna be left alone with you and your horses, because yes, there are some awesome horse properties here, but yeah, understanding what it is you like to do, what makes you happy, that will help determine where we get to go buy your next home. And then when I'm looking at these different communities, I'm like, all right, man, there's so many different places. What's the difference? Queen Creek, Gilbert, Tempe. You know, I'll go to those communities' websites. So you can find so much information on each city's website. I mean, it's crazy. You can go into private, or not private, but the Facebook groups and see what people are like there, see the questions that are asked. So it's a really good source of information. But I love the websites of the different communities because you really get to learn a lot about, you know, the makeup of the area, the amenities, the attractions. You know, even living here, there's certain things like, oh, I wasn't even aware of that, and I'll see it on the city website. Another thing people are looking at when deciding on where to go home is the schools. Now, Arizona isn't necessarily known for top schools, and that doesn't mean that every school here is bad, but the funding for schools here is not the greatest. Maybe that's why taxes are so low, but you know, it's hard to get great teachers. Well, not to say, because we have great teachers at our schools, but it's hard to draw teachers in with the lower pay. So you really want to use, you know, different websites, talk to people. All right, what schools are a fit for me? Greatschools.org is a really good website. You can go check things out, read reviews, ratings, you know, take a really in-depth look at that school. And after reading that, if you're like, you know what, I don't think these public schools are for me, you know, we do have a lot of private schools here. And you can go to privateschoolreview.com to get a good look of, you know, the reviews and rankings of some of the private schools here. Now, I will say we are in Gilbert, and we absolutely love the school district here. We love the schools. My daughter loves it. You know, it's a lot different than the small private school we were at in Illinois. So it's the first time at a public school, but she loves it. She's thriving. But again, we did our homework. We did our research. Like, okay, I was comfortable sending my daughter there, understanding she was going to get a great education. And the bonus is visit arizonalife.net. Yes, that is my website, but you can find, you know, blogs, you can find, you know, homes for sale, you can, everything to do with real estate and everything to do with what it's like to relocate here. But in all seriousness, you know, I would love it if you did reach out to me and talk to me about what it's like to make Arizona your home, how I can help you in that transition process. But, you know, hey, we may not be a fit, or you may already have a real estate agent, but I do suggest you interview multiple agents to understand, you know, is this person really capable of helping me, or are they just blowing smoke? You know, do they have, you know, the systems, processes, do they understand what it's truly like to help people? And that's what I've built my career on, is is helping people. And that's what I love to do for you guys. So if you have any other questions, seriously, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is below. And any other topic you want to see, let me know. But until next time, this is Rich Brecklin, eXp Realty, Arizona Life.